What up, anime fans? I'm back with another video. We're in the Arrancar arc of Bleach, at least part one of the arc. This is I'm doing what Fandom says. I know I shouldn't, but oh well. It might take longer to review the arcs together. Oh well, because I'm getting into Naruto. I want to watch all of Naruto so I can get all the Shippuden. Because I really want to watch it all the way to Boruto. Seriously. I'm enjoying watching Naruto. I can't wait to see what Shippuden's got. We got a lot more arcs though. And over 100 more episodes to go. Now the Arrancar arc of Bleach. This is an interesting arc because it shows character motivations and stuff. I know, I say that sometimes, don't I? I mean, it's folks get, it doesn't have one focus. I like how it does get focused to some of the characters. Anyway, continuing where we left off, everything's gone back to normal. Like, everything's back to normal since the events since before. And by the way, this arc has a shocking surprise. I don't know if it will come up again in a future arc. But it's only happened in 2 episodes though, but it was something I did not expect, but it makes total sense. So, as I said, everything's kind of back to normal. Again, as at school. You know, everyone being themselves. Everyone's being themselves as usual. Anyway, and the teacher announces this a new student. Before that, we can all point out an interesting thing about Ichigo's soul badge and calling it that. Anyway, Tarski asks Ichigo what's on his shirt. Me thinking it's the lucky charm that his dad gave him that stuck to his shirt. And he sewed onto his shirt. Yeah. They see that in a flashback. It's just so funny. But that charm's actually kind of important. If you don't know how Ichigo got that charm, in the conclusion to the Soul Society arc in the first arc, well, episode 20 or something, before the Ichigo and the others left the Soul Society to rescue Rukia. It was just before that. And I say, it's very interesting. We just thought his dad was just an idiot, but I get ahead of myself. Anyway, Toski figures that much out when she points at the Ichigo's soul badge. Ichigo's a little surprised that she could see it. Of course, they don't know, but ever since the incident with Orihime's brother Sora, she started to see her spiritual pressure somehow increase more. It's possible that she may join in the action someday with her martial arts skills and stuff. I'm curious to know. She's only started seeing ghosts around about after her incident with Sora. But why? Tatsuki's a normal kid. So why does she suddenly start being able to see ghosts? And wondering how does it fit in how does Ichigo is able to see ghosts? You think it's just a gift? Well, it kind of is true, but it makes sense when you find out the truth. When you find out something. Anyway, Ichigo gets alert of a hollow. So Ichigo sneaks out, with Chan Orihime following behind. Iryu, Arrancar. Basically, each one understands why he can't join in. Because he doesn't lose powers. No, he lost his powers again in the previous arc. Actually, I could buy these arcs tonight. That'd be easier. Maybe next time I ever decided to give the series a re-review, once Thousand Year Blood War's done, I'm gonna make sure I can combine the 2-part arcs into one. That way, it'd be easier to review the entire story of the arc without separating it into 2 parts. Now, for the Soul Society arc, there's actually acknowledgement that is the end of the first part The sneak entry. The second part is the rescue. According to the preview of that specific arc. So that makes sense. The 2 parts of the story makes it like a season, which is true actually. We don't know when Netflix did air stream Bleach years ago in the UK. I don't know if it's available in the US or not, but it had a total of 3 seasons on there. Season 1 was the first arc. Season 2 Season 2 and 3 is the Soul Society arc. So we have divided it into 2 seasons. It makes sense because they were made for different seasons. So similarly, the other arcs are separated because of the seasons they released in. So no. Yeah, I did plan to do a review someday of Bleach to combine the 2-part arcs together. Anyway. And there's Ichigo now. He's being watched by someone. Anyway, back at school. By the way, a little bit earlier, when Ichigo ran out as a sweeper, Katsuki kind of saw him. And you probably think, and you want to say that she's thinking, who's that? I mean, it's obviously she knows it's Ichigo. 1, the hair. I can't exactly explain why it's orange. I mean, look at Karin and Yuzu. Karin is black hair, like her dad. Well, Yuzu has the same color hair as her mother. Alright, this arc does seem to return of an old foe. He appeared in 1 episode. But I'm a little disappointed in how it ended. Because, well, I'll get to that. Anyway, after that's done, back at school, the teacher introduces a transfer student. It was pretty weird. And probably, why he handled Orihime like that. He has a piercing on his tongue. I forgot his name, but this guy's kind of important. But I'll get to the reason why. I don't know why it's the whole point though. They could just separate this into 2. They could just separate this 2-part arc differently. Expand more. That'll make much more sense. I do not know why this happened. Anyway, this guy has appeared. He's the one been watching Ichigo, and he appeared in the end of the last arc. Carrying a sword. A Zanpakuto, but how? Anyway, at night, Ichigo is a lot of spiritual passions of hollows has appeared. We learn the different types of hollows. And It's too tightly focused on this arc. Anyway, Ichigo, like I said, in the strong spiritual pressure, he is attacked. This hollow is something special. While Koen's in Ichigo's body, running about. You know, as Koen is. He ends up running from this creature, this hollow, which turns out to be none other than Grand Fisher. If that name does not sound familiar, then who the hell do you think you are? You call yourself a Bleach fan? Grand Fisher is the hollow that killed his mother when he was just many years ago, when he was just a young boy. Alright, Ichigo doesn't get a chat, doesn't even know he was there, or doesn't really take him out. That's what disappointed me. After all, it would have been satisfying for Ichigo to take that guy down himself. He'll take it down. Anyway. Before Koen could be, while the other monsters tried to help, they only fail. Before Koen can get eaten, somehow that protection charm actually works. And what a shocking twist this is, by the way. And turns out, you remember Ichigo's dad, the idiot? Turns out, he's a freaking Soul Reaper! Yeah, I did not see that coming, but it makes a lot of sense now. Yeah, 20 years. He also Soul Reaper about 20 years prior, 5 years before Ichigo was born. So he must have met his wife that exact point in time he stopped being a Soul Reaper. That's interesting. And he's about as strong as... I think he's a former captain. Because when a Soul Reaper becomes captain, they're able to control the spiritual pressure of the Arrancar. Anyway, the threat that's attacking Ichigo, the student, is an visor. A Soul Reaper that gains the power of a hollow. They want Ichigo to join them because he's technically one too. But by the way, they gain the powers of hollows through their masks. Sound familiar? That's the same thing that's been happening to Ichigo since he got his Soul Reaper powers back. The hollow side of him was there the whole time, wearing that mask. And the way Ichigo conquers this, the way Ichigo handles the mask problem later, is really cool and satisfying. Because Ichigo mostly is focused on in this arc. Well, or Hime gets a bit of focus too, slightly. By the way, it mostly returns to the manga, but you know, as some elements of with some elements of the previous arcs filler. So yeah. Anyway, Ichigo's dad managed to take down the Grand Fisher, which they call Arrancar. A hollow who can gain the power of a Soul Reaper. Now, Grand Fisher is an early stage of the Arrancar. The powerful stages, as we get to see later. Anyway, he's always known that Koen existed and was Ichigo's body, and makes a good point if you think about it. I think about it, every time Cone was in Ichigo's body, did did Ichigo's dad ever call Cone Ichigo? No. That's pretty interesting. You never think about that until it's revealed. That is very cool. And you can never. This was a twist that was not set up. Like not a kind of. Like you just think it's just normal. Some of the stuff he did was normal. I know. I mean, how can an idiot be a soul reaper? It's, it's very weird. And well, the soul reaper power only. We don't have, see him have. We don't even see him outside the house much. But again, like we don't see him interact much with Kisuke. Like Kisuke Uruhara actually knew he was a soul reaper. Anyway, he got asked to keep this a secret from Ichigo for now, because it might mess someone up or mess up their plans with him or something. I don't know, but I know that the Vice has made contact with Ichigo as well. Oh, yeah. And after that, all incidents over. So Ichigo refused to join, but he won't give up. Next day, Ichigo confronts the guy. You know? About this whole crap. So, yeah. So anyway, I don't know the history behind that, but it makes sense when you think about it. What I mean is why Ichigo's been able to see ghosts. Why Kamin's also able to see ghosts, while Yuzu can only sense the presence of ghost spirits. Because her dad's a soul reaper. For Yuzu, I think it can be easily explained why she can't see ghosts. Because she's takes more of her mother's side, who's human. I don't think she knew that. It's never explained if she actually knew he was a soul reaper or not. Maybe when he reveals the truth to Ichigo, we might get a bit of backstory of what happened, of why he stopped being a soul reaper 20 years prior. Ooh, looking forward to that story. It's a twist I did not see coming, like at all. It's fucking amazing. Oh, so fucking amazing. You're real shocked if out that. Anyway, don't have conversation. Tasky was watching but not saying a word. Like just not saying a word. I wonder if she'll tell Ichigo that she. Well. Anyway, sometime later, a new threat emerges. New Arrancar show up. It's suspected that the Arrancars are under the control of Sosuke Aizen. Yes, Aizen the traitor, whom we haven't seen since the conclusion to the Soul Society arc. So, what is his true plans that cause him to become evil? Someone might suspect. He created the Arrancars. Like I said, the Hollows that gain the power of Soul Reapers. These Arrancars, however, look more human than hollow. The difference is they have holes in their bodies, different parts of their body to show that they're hollows. That just take on human appearance. More specifically, the original, most likely the forms they had when they were human. Don't forget, hollows were once humans that were corrupted. Corrupted with negative stuff. So yeah. Anyway, Chan or Hime battle that after rescuing Tatsuki, but they both lose. Well, Ichigo does try his best. They're strong, but trying to resist the power of this whole half, he gets injured, and well, he goes down after that, blaming himself for what happened. By the way, one of Tsubaki, one of Orihime's hairpins, gets just beaten and destroyed by the Arrancar. We managed to rather retreat thanks to the help of Uruhara and Yoriichi. So yeah, well, Ichigo does feel down about this, but some friends come to help out. Thanks to the Arrancar threat that's been arising, but Ichigo. Alright, the prizes just gets tossed away like that. You know they're supposed to be antagonists. Like they just get tossed aside immediately. Actually, they just debut. By the way, another one's introduced with a comedic moment. She's more feisty. Like, they still appear again later in the arc, but again, they just get thrown aside from the start. What was the whole point? Was it just to introduce the Rancars? Like, I don't get it. What was the whole point? If they kept these guys around, it'd been interesting. You know, they're two factions. You can see they're at war with each other, and the first arc will be against the Visors. The second will be against the Rancars. That would be much more interesting. But the Visors just gets tossed aside. That's just wow. What was the whole point of the Visors then? I don't get it. They do technically have a purpose. But, yeah. Anyway. As I said, thanks to the Arrancar threat. The head captain sent down some familiar faces. Is catching Toshiro. Is Toshiro one his Setex, his lieutenant Rangiku was with Renji, Ikaku, and a pretty boy. They're at Ichigo's school. Hatsuga. Not just them though, Ruki is also there. She's back. After Togusan tried to recover. By the way, it seems that the memories of Rukia weren't erased because they actually mentioned her name. Not asking who she. Character is basically the same. Rankiku has, her school, the shirt buttons of the school uniform mostly undone, just to show off her chest. Like she does with her Sobiba uniform. I don't get why the robes, I don't get why they wear that. Does it symbolize death or something? Like they're grim, most likely symbolize Grim Reapers. Because the dub actually calls them Soul Reapers. And they carry sword. They carry something. Like they carry swords like scythes. Very interesting when you think about it. They call Shinigami in the Japanese version gods of death. But basically that's Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper is a Shinigami. So a creature is able to kill someone with just a single touch. So yeah. As an help of Rukia, Ichigo's back on his feet and ready to face a new Arrancar threat. So yeah. There's some more comedic moments going on throughout this arc. Even shockingly, and Rukia manages to taste with Ichigo. Alright, a little bit earlier when Ichigo was being down, Karin reveals something. She knows Ichigo's a Soul Reaper. That would make sense in a way. Like, Karin can see ghosts like Ichigo. So, how come she couldn't have seen them before when she was out? She's seen horrors for God's sake. Chad's arm changed. You know? She's seen crazy shit happen. And she's got... So of course she must have kept a close eye on Ichigo when he's doing Soul Reaper business without her noticing. So... Yeah, glad they acknowledge it. But they don't do anything with that much. You can see quick look. You know? You can see glances of that. That they don't bring it up again like the arc. That can be problematic sometimes. Like Connie says, she's known for quite a while now, since the events of the graveyard. Since the day of the battle of Grand Fisher. She could see everything, but she was confused back then. Couldn't understand it, but as time went on, she started to understand it. And by the way, that's at that point in time is when Ichigo's dad figured out that comb was inside Ichigo's body. For a guy who acts like an idiot, he's kind of smart. He knows his son very well. Seriously, it's hard to that guy's a Soul Reaper. They will definitely put up again, but now we audience knows the sequel. They can see other side of him when he's alone. You know? Or see thoughts in his head when knowing that Ichigo's facing a big threat. And I guess he actually knew Ichigo was going to the Soul Society back then. So many, a lot of questions that need to be explained. Anyway, that night, the Arrancar show up. All under Sosuke Aizen. Well done, Grandjaw, who's going to become an important character. So each character fights each member some of the Arrancars. Ichigo and Rukia will take care of 2 Arrancars. We get to see Rukia. Yeah, Rukia's got her Soul Reaper powers back. And we get to see her Zanpakuto for the first time. Its ice powers are blipping incredible. Can't wait to see her. Grow as a character. I really hope we get to see more of it in the future. More creative fights. She's only had one fight throughout this entire arc. Yeah. So, yeah. Orihime kind of feels down about the whole thing. Or the whole events. Rukia gets injured by trying to fight Grandmajaw. Ichigo does his best with his Bankai, but nearly loses. No way. Arrancar Zanpakuto's true form is different to the Soul Reapers. Instead of their blade changing, their forms change to match their hollow forms. Their original looks as hollows. I assume the human forms they look now are what they used to look like before becoming hollows. Am I right? Understand? The blind Soul Reaper who betrayed Soul Society along Aizen and Gin is constantly take Grandmajaw back. Ichigo was lucky. He blames himself for what happened. And throughout most of the entire story, he feels down. He was just afraid. He feels afraid of his hollow side. So yeah. Channel he may try their best, but ultimately they fail. Couldn't do anything. I think what Ichigo said that him handle the fight, Chad kind of felt hurt, as they thought we could take things on together as friends. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna pop back up sometime soon. They don't really do much for that, you know. We do understand Chad's feelings. He wants to fight alongside his best friend. Even with fully so their true powers being with their full power being used in the battle, Renji, Rangiku, and Captain Hisumgaya would have lost, even with the Bankais. No, only captains can use Bankais. Also, during the Arrancar battle, um, Ikaku has his own great bite. And it's revealed that he can use Bankai. Of course, no one else is out alone, only his friend. Yeah, he and Pretty Boy actually being friends before becoming Soul Reapers. But they grew up around the same district. It's pretty interesting. The reason they joined the become the Soul Reapers is to get strong so they can get strong in the fight against Kapachi Zaraki. Oh, Ikaku lost the fight against him and he was strong. So it was really impressive. By the way, he had a Zanpakuto tail before becoming a Soul Reaper too. That's how he must have used Bankai after training so hard with his sword. So that's pretty impressive. Of course, he doesn't want to be lost to anyone, otherwise they'll make him a captain. Or something he does not want to want. He wants to keep Serpent undercut Zaraki all the time. Because he respects him as a fighter. It makes you like these characters even more when they first appeared. When their first fights happened. I don't think they'll appear again, but they're fun characters. I'm glad they got some great fights here. Also, Ikaku's second. This is Ikaku's second battle we've seen. Back in the Soul Today, after losing to Ichigo, the fight he does get to have, we don't see, happens off screen. So I'm glad we get to see a great fight here. That's why you love Shonen Jump, because the high-paced action. The action is really good for Shonen Jump. We love it. That's what draws us to those stories. The combat. Anyway, after that night, Ichigo disappears. Not even Rukia knows where he is. So, yeah, but Ichigo decides to go train to control his hollow side. And the only place he can do that is has help from the visors. Their sword was able to control the hollow sides of them. We don't see much of the Zanpakutos in battle though. So they use powers of hollows, one from their own faction. But used for good instead of just using their power. Most likely get revenge or something. Oh no, the note is not exactly clear to me or something. I can't remember. Well, again, I just he got swept to the side by the Arrancars. When they could have just done two separate arcs, like the manga, Kubo could have just done two separate story arcs featuring those villains. How the Arrancars be hit into that thanks to Grand Fisher? After the, because they could have done this during the battle with the visors, all of them. Well, Grand Fisher makes a return. Well, another hollow, an Arrancar hollow, shows up. So, like I said, the late stage of Arrancar are human-like. More like they probably look like what they looked like before they became hollows in the first place. So yeah, Ichigo. So yeah, for days Ichigo trains to control his hollow side. After battling his hollow side for control, well, the Devices battle the hollow Ichigo on the outside. Because the hollow body does take control of the body temporarily, while Ichigo fights Hollow Ichigo. Hologo. Yeah, Hologo sounds funny. But he basically explains that he he and Zangetsu kind of merged. So now he's Zangetsu. Where Ichigo managed to win, as now able to control his soul side. And it's hinted at that Hollow Ichigo may return in the future. I'm curious, we might see that. Who knows? It's going to be one interesting idea. Ichigo now able to control his hollow side. Makes him stronger. I cannot wait. But I will be... Anyway, after that, Orihime wants to get some training too, but... Because Chad and Renji are training. They're planning to get stronger so they can face the Arrancars. But Uehara refuses. One, not because even though he says it's because she doesn't have any abilities, she can't use her only attack power because Tsubaki's gone. But mainly it's because she doesn't have a fighting bone in her body. It's easy, but oh, I forgot to mention about Uryu. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot all about him. I forgot all about him, even though I mentioned him much earlier on. Silly me. So what's he doing? When one of the type of hollows like the ones we saw when in the Quincy mini arc of the first arc, which leads up to episode 20, leads up to episode 18, or was it episode 19? Episodes 18 and 19. We're in the Quincy mini arc. You know, I wonder. Ichigo wasn't that strong when he first faced Grand Fisher. But now that Grand Fisher's... What do you think? Ichigo might have easily beat Grand Fisher now? Or will he still have a tough time? It would have been an interesting fight. But I'm just disappointed that that opportunity was taken away. Because it didn't feel satisfying. It almost does, because it was taken down by Ichigo's dad, who truly loved his wife. But it would be much more bad if it was taken down by Ichigo, because it was even more personal for him. It happened because of him. He felt responsible for that. I wants to take, so it might be more interesting to take down the Grand Fisher himself. So that's disappointing. Alright, after doing some so yeah. Oh, so with the help of one of the advisors, right, Tsubaki's arrived. Now, Orihime wants to get stronger, so she gets her focused on. She wants to be stronger. She doesn't want to put eye on anyone. She's always wanting everyone. She never gets a chance, so she wants to fight, get stronger. And I respect that. I really do respect that about her. And she might get a brilliant battle in the next arc, which I cannot wait to review, but I'll save that for sometime next week. Because tomorrow I'm going to be reviewing Naruto. Of course, don't know if I might be able to review it in one day. If not, I'll review it on the other half on Sunday. Then get to One Piece on Monday. Find someone else to watch on Tuesday. Get back to Bleach on Wednesday. Naruto on Thursday. If Bleach is the second part of the Arrancar arc takes 1 day to watch. Oh, by the way, some of the other characters get a mini battle for a 3-episode mini arc. I'm not going to talk much about it. It's a good episode, by the way. It's really heartwarming. So, it's just a mini adventure. So I'm not going to talk much about it. Basically, they help a lost soul. Oh, they help out a lost soul in a way. Gets on a Arrancar. A unique, early stage 1. Late stage 1s are very strong. We know that. They're going to be very powerful to battle. We just know it. But they do plan to take down Sosuke Aizen. I learned a lot throughout this arc. So yeah, the captain's doing much stuff to do, but yeah. Anyway, cannot wait for next time. Because and judging by the preview, Karin gets to talk to Toshiro. know what I mean? So we get a little more focus, get more time to learn about, to expand more on her feelings about this whole Soul Reaper business. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please hit the thumbs up button. Once you want to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. You'll stay updated all videos that comes out in the future. And well, if I don't have any videos coming out later, then I'll see you guys tomorrow for Naruto. Go Phoenix out.